This thing is the best thing I've purchased since this house. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Nonsense Nexus once again. I'm X, she's Re. I go to the movies all the time.
And I usually don't, but I had to
She
see
went
this.
to this one.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies I think, aside from like certain Disney movies and everything. But like, yeah, I had to go see this movie. I was
Disney
excited.
done fell off
I mean, I'm talking about like older ones, but
before they fell off.
before they fell off. But yeah, I had to see this. I was excited. Saw it with my son. It was good fun. It was good fun.
Good, wholesome, good time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. So we're going to share some thoughts about it and jibber jab a little bit and give a quick little review over a pretty cherished intellectual property, I would say. Like something that didn't really need being remade. But let's look at it for what it is. Okay, so considering all the CGI in this movie, it was barely live action. Like the backgrounds were CGI, the dragons were CGI. Obviously, you're not going to find real dragons. I heard they're in Arkansas. None that were trained for the movie, at least. So this is a very one-to-one remake, the likes of which that honestly more remakes should do, since they're spending a lot of time industry-wide just like butchering old classics to redo them. There's very few deviations. There are deviations. There's a couple of them. Some of them involving dragon teeth breaking for no apparent reason that don't really add much to the story at all. But they're there.
Yeah.
Um, but it is, for the most part, something I can say. If you like the original movie, this is very, very close, like to the original movie. So while it is very close to being a one-to-one remake, there I would consider it in terms of overall quality a sidestep. It is a lateral move compared to the original. Because one of the big things that they changed is in this one, it's more this is the live action one I'm talking about. It's more of a father-son, like the bond and feelings and emotions of father son carried through heavier, I think, than in the first movie and the original. Not that that didn't come through heavy, it's just
Mm.
originally it was boy and dragon, way more about them bonding. This one dialed up Hiccup and Stoic more. I thought I caught that vibe, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's a lateral move. I would say overall the movie is a three-tier sort of romance story, and the silver and gold medals switched places from the original movie. The original was Boy and Dragon in the gold medal spot. This one puts father and son, I think, closer to the run for gold, and Boy and Dragon in silver medal. But in a long, long distant third is Boy and that little girl Astrid. Could two people have less chemistry on set in all the world? Like, oh my goodness. I felt like she don't like him. She truly doesn't. And it was unfortunate. But I mean that's just like she was just wrote it down as S tier, boy and dragon. A tier, son and father. C tier, distant C tier. Dude and this rigid chick for some reason.
Rigid chick.
But it does look good. Like it looks like,
Mm-hmm.
since the previous movie was all CGI, it looks like someone just downloaded the high res texture pack for Toothless and just updated the graphics on the game and got a new GPU and ran the movie. Like it looks good. It's just um I do think Toothless is less emotive because he's not a cartoon anymore, and I liked that about him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Even with little stuff like his pupils don't widen as big to get all like cutesy happy like they did in cartoon mode, but they wouldn't. But how would you know? No one knows dragon anatomy except for those secret dragon ranchers in Arkansas. I see you. It's probably a more probably a very expensive way to justify the Epic World's theme park at Epic Universe. Is that what it's called? The new theme park.
Epic,
I
yeah.
think that's what this movie's really for. It's orchestrated to promote a theme park. But how did you, who doesn't go to the movies often, feel to it? Did it put the funk to you?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, so I wrote down three things that I liked about it, and then three things that I didn't like, because negative Nancy over here. And
I mean,
then
realistic.
you did mention two things that I do want to ask. Like I want you to elaborate on. But
Oh,
first things first, I will say that just like the first movie, it still made me emotional because I don't know. It's very much like how people get emotional about Mufasa dying, even though it's gonna happen anyways. We all know it. But like
don't downplay that. That's serious business.
I feel more emotion towards like Toothless being captured by Stoic and feeling because I'm like, he must feel so abandoned. Like Hiccup's not even doing anything. Like, that type of thing. But anyway, so the three things I liked. So I liked fish legs. Now, I understand people had a whole thing of like, why are they bringing brown people into the whole thing? I was like, whatever, and I'll say something about that. But the actor that did Fish Legs, who was also in Deadpool,
Julian
um,
Dennison.
yes, and he was really great. Honestly, I think he did the part of Fish Legs like chef's kiss. And then I did like the graphics of Toothless. He looked like Toothless. It wasn't like a small-eyed Sonic situation. He actually looked
Oh,
very much like Toothless. And
oh.
also, of course, Gerard Butler coming back as Stoic was probably the best decision that they made because I don't think there would have been anybody else that we would have all agreed on for Stoic. So I really enjoyed that. Okay, three things I didn't like. There wasn't a whole lot of explanation as to why there was all these different cultures of people around the world coming for it. I understand that they said like, "Oh, we're fighting all the dragons." So then it's like, so are the dragons like everywhere, 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 or like when did this happen? Why did this happen? Like there wasn't much back. It was just more or less seeming like an explanation as to why it's not an all-white cast. And I hate when that bullshit comes into a movie that was already fine, you know? So,
Wasn't
whatever.
wasn't a whole lot of brown Vikings. Just saying.
I know. That's what. And as a slightly brown person, like, I'm okay with that. So,
I
whatever.
think half is more than slightly,
Right. I know.
mathematically
um,
speaking.
I don't know if this is going to be a bad thing. I don't know if you're going to say anything about this, but I didn't like who they picked for Hiccup. His acting was not great. Like the way he said his lines in lines that we all enjoyed, like I don't know. I didn't feel anything towards it, if that makes any sense. Like it didn't, it almost looked like it was a high school play. That's how I felt about it. And then the last, I have to say, my son is blowing his nose. I don't know if anybody can hear that. I don't know if it's allergies. We may have COVID. We're saying I am terrified. We've been testing every day. No COVID, but still. So if there's any sounds, that's what it is. The last thing is the way the cameras shot certain scenes. Particularly, I can't come up with that much at the top of my head, but I do remember it bothering me. But one of them that is in my mind is when what was the trainer's name? Gobbler,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gobber.
So when Gobber's telling him when dragons basically kill, like they don't give it a second thought or whatever, the camera is shot like looking at him like this, they're not like straight ahead. Like I feel like it would have hit more because that was a very important line because that was, you know, thinking like, okay, so why didn't you kill me or why didn't you, do whatever. But it wasn't as serious of a shot to like hone in the seriousness of it. So those are the three things I liked, three things I didn't. But I did want you to elaborate on why you think it was more stoic and hiccup relationship because I feel like it was the same lines, the same everything, but I can see your point if like emotions of Toothless wasn't as there. So I guess that does take away from it a little bit, but I feel like the stoic and hiccup scenes were exactly to a T the same.
I mean, they mostly were because he was hitting the same lines. Um, like one of the things I thought was cool about it is like Gerard Butler did the same role, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
This was an easy check for him.
Right.
And what's the director's name? Dean DeBlois. I'm pretty sure his name is
DeBlois.
French related, so I don't say that S at the end. He's
Mm-hmm.
Canadian, so I don't know. French and me never clicked. But he directed the first movie. He's had a pretty good year because he also like co-wrote and directed the original Lilo and Stitch, and I think he worked on Lilo and Stitch earlier this summer too. Um, all he had to do was redo what they did,
Yeah.
and it'd have been easy for both of those two. Redo your movie, redo your character, right? You've done this before. So Gerard Butler did exactly that, except just because the physical presence of a man being there, a little more natural, real emotion came out from his words, his eyes, his presence, and what he did. So that actually, I think, dialed Stoic up a notch compared to the original. And
Hmm.
since Toothless lost emotional projectability compared to cartoon form, because you can't ever project emotion like a cartoon can in your face, because cartoon faces can do anything they want. So they had to bring Toothless down. And since Stoic stepped up, I think that helped make me feel like, oh, the relationship between Hiccup and Stoic was stronger this go round.
Hmm.
As far as Mason, Thames, Thames,
Them
how do you say his
is.
T
I don't
H
know.
A M E S? I have no
Times.
earthly idea how to pronounce his name. Thames, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Um, I don't think he did a terrible job. I think he had a terrible position he was in
Yeah.
because um like you got hired to basically do an impression of someone else doing the character originally to remake it tight. You know what I mean? So it's like I think he was kind of restricted because if he'd have gone off and did his own thing, maybe he'd have made a cold, rigid Astrid that I mean really didn't really contribute much to the emotional weights of the scales. But he didn't. So it's like I felt like he was trying to do what Jay last name starts with a B, has a bunch of syllables in it. It's not Bacchanal,
I don't
Boucheral. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. But he's
know.
trying to do him doing Hiccup.
Mm.
And so I think he did an even keel, straight line of a job, but Gerard Butler stepped up, and Toothless, by virtue of the medium, stepped down. And that's why I feel like father and
Mm.
son energy came through more because they were real people. And my life as a boy who has had a father actually magnetized to that closer than cartoonishly.
Ah, so that's why you felt okay. Because yeah, for me, I didn't. I do feel like, in a way, there was less time between Hiccup and um, Toothless.
I should rewatch the first one and time it and
Yeah,
see like
because
do a
I
stopwatch like.
truly think because like they still did the drawing thing, which was great and all that stuff, but like it wasn't like you said the I guess like when they're flying with Astrid on, like you can't tell the emotions and stuff like that. I feel like if again like just Lilo and Stitch, if this came out, it wouldn't be hitting the same as the cartoon did. Astrid though, I don't get the chemistry that happened. How you gonna go from like my life is hard, you're a nepo baby, I don't like anything about you and way you move, to kissing him and like liking him? Like I don't understand that.
Because there was no chemistry.
Well, that's what I'm
There was
saying.
geometry. There
I
was
didn't under
trigonometry. There
I
was
didn't
no chemistry. It was all math, no science.
I didn't understand how that, but I will say that she played Astrid better than old dude played Hiccup. Because yes, you're right. Like he was between a rock and a hard place because it was like, well, if I do something more on my own, people are going to not respond as well, and if I just do the lines as they were said, whatever, like it was just like less emotion. I think he, like, if the line was like, "Oh, guys, look at the mountain," he's like, "Oh, look at the mountain." Like that was the difference. There was way less emotion, way less hype, and that's what kind of killed it for me. And it was very similar to Lilo and Stitch, where the sister, where they're yelling at each other, like, "Go to your room," and it was way more emotion, but then in the live action, it was way more tamer. So I think that's what kills it for me, which is crazy because I feel like you can do it. Jack Black is the person that shows you. Jim Carrey is the person that shows you. You can still do that in live action shit. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what my whole take is on it.
Um,
I
I
enjoyed it
think
though.
overall the cast, like all of them, like my overall rating would be, I wrote literally fine, I guess. Less expressive than cartoons, but that's to be expected. Astrid though, oh my, where's the expression? She was expanded. She had more to do in this movie. That scene with her breaking dragon teeth, I was like, oh, okay, she's got something to do. It's not necessary. Like nothing extra they gave her was necessary at all for anything. And it's like, okay, so Astrid's got a little bit more. But they also gave her a minus 25 charisma score modifier, which was not cool for her character sheet, man. Like, why did you
See,
do that? That's like the only bad thing I really have to say.
the
Craig Ferguson, where were you not available to play Gobber again? Because that would have been
right.
funny to me. I just like his voice as
Me
Gobber better. I'm
too.
sorry. I'm sorry, Nick Frost. I just wanted Craig Ferguson's voice, and I saw Gerard Butler was back, and I'm just like, oh man.
Right. They were so like the voices of both of them were just amazing. But I will say the teeth thing, what I thought was gonna happen was she was gonna break through the teeth and then jump out the hole, jump out the gap, and then her dragon was gonna be there and be like, "Oh yeah, I can trust these dragons. These dragons have bond." Her dragon was like, "I'm out."
Stormfly was like, what are you doing? I am gone.
And that's the thing, you could see the bond between her and her dragon. I think early on, they all had like a little bond with them and stuff, and you didn't see that in this one. So I think it was less time with dragons, and I don't know if that was because of budget or what.
All right, and so like at the budget came up at I think 150 million is what I'm seeing here just at a quick wiki search for it. And
So
like for what we
comparing that to like bigger movies, like what
I
was
mean,
like
that's a
a
lot. That's an expensive movie. 150 million,
well,
that's a lot.
yeah,
That's
that's why. Okay.
like 50 million and you're in Avengers budget land. 30
Mm,
million and you're a Thunderbolts budget, which is basically an Avengers movie. So it's like, ooh,
damn.
this bad boy wasn't cheap. Um, but it was safe because the first one made a ton of money and this one's made a lot of money.
Mm,
It made at least according to this source right here, we're at 263 million right now on it, so it's doing fine.
that's not
But
even
what did we
counting
add?
merch.
We had Astrid, the dragon, the hostile dragon dentist. We had a breakdown of Snotlout's name. I don't remember his name being explained in the original, and I thought, was
It
that something
wasn't.
considered important that got cut in the original edit of the movie that we needed to make sure audiences knew? Because I don't feel like that was important, or his
It
dad
wasn't.
not giving any cares about him.
I
I didn't think
forgot
that was
about
important either. And it's
that.
just like, oh,
That was so sad.
I mean, it
Like
was sad, but I was just like, we don't need that. We
we
don't need it.
well, that's what tells
Um,
me they're gonna make future movies or whatever, and I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
they're probably gonna make the second one again. I
yeah,
hope
but
if
it,
they make the third one, they change the movie entirely. Overall, how it hits me overall is it still makes me want a dragon. I still want one.
yes,
I
yes,
want to trade in my Mazda and fly a Night Fury around town and take it to the grocery store and buy fruit roll-ups because the movie is still very much just like the first one. It's good. It's manufactured. It's something you can go back to, and it's the same formula. It's made in a plant. It's like Doritos. They're just good. Are they good for you? Nah, let's not make any lies here, but they're delicious. And you can just go and there's this bag, that bag, this bag, that bag. They're all the same. It's just Doritos and they're good. And
it's a
you can
good
watch it
time.
again and again.
It's a
That's
good
high praise.
time. I mean, as a older millennial, I feel like I will still be watching the animated How to Train Your Dragon while I'm cleaning on the weekends.
Oh, I'll probably never watch this one again.
Mm-mm,
It's good,
samesies.
but I'll probably never watch it again because I already have the first one on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't even have to stream it. I actually own the movie. It's actually mine.
Mm-hmm.
My copy. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
But real quick, because I forgot about the whole relationship daddy issues. Like, how are you gonna bring more cultures and all that in here to the movie to be more,
Inclusive.
inclusive.
Same rule as all things in film. Show, don't tell. Don't make Stoic
No, no,
say,
no, no, no,
"Oh,
no.
hey, you all came here to
My
fight
whole
dragons."
no,
Show a scene gathering them.
sure. But no, that's not my point. My point is how are you going to bring all these people from around the world, change up the script a little bit, and to be inclusive, and then add in a boy with daddy problems, and then at the end of it, because he showed he was manly, all of a sudden his dad loves him again or respects him or gives a damn. That's not the message. That is not the
Oh,
message. That is
I
such
don't.
a toxic thing because it's very opposite of Stoic and Hiccup's relationship. Like, how? I don't know. Make it make sense. But anyways.
Cannot.
All right,
But
that's my.
please
I'm
see this
done.
movie. Please see this movie in theaters because if for nothing else,
Yeah.
um, good remakes need to be supported.
Yes.
We need, if you're gonna remake a movie, please remake something significantly older than this that actually might need to be retold. This one, the original was still holding up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But like a good remake, let's pay for it. Don't remake things like that inferior Lion King. Basically anything Disney's remade except Lilo and Stitch. Even that's far cry from the original one too. It's just not absolute trash garbage. It's just not as good as the first one by any stretch of the imagination. So just like this one's pretty close.
Well,
This
yeah,
is
the
what you should
director
see.
said he wanted to do it before anybody else got their hands on it and ruined it, basically. And
Hey, so
I,
it's
I
like
liked
he
it.
played defense.
I know I'm
Glad he played
talking.
defense.
I had 3, maybe now 4 things I didn't like about it, but they're not that big of a deal. So it's like, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I still cried.
Cool. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Do you think remakes are the devil's work incarnate, put on film? Share your comments in below. I'll be reading them if they're there. So, and please disagree with me when necessary. I like to hear differences of opinions, but don't disagree
He
with
needs
Ree. She's
them.
just right.
Whatever.
Fare thee well, Dragon Riders. We out.